This is the employee lounge. This is where everybody takes their breaks, get something to eat, and we try to supply every shift, even night shift, with a hot meal.
So this is where they can take their breaks, have a refreshing beverage.
Yep, the sheriff has actually just upgraded the food for the staff lounge, so they eat pretty well.
Off to the next place. Which way, sir?
Right this way.
Where to now, Captain?
Well, this is our multi-purpose room we use for religious services. What we have is we have so many different denominations of people that we actually change it as we need it. We also have other functions in here. If we have promotional ceremonies, stuff like that, we'll use it in here. But its main purpose is for religious services, but it serves a lot of needs. You know, when we need a bigger area, this would be what we'd use.
Let's keep going.
All right.
What's this big bubble in front of us?
Well, this is our central control. This is basically the brains of the entire jail. Anybody that comes in or out, any alarms that go off, they know about it. Anybody that comes in and out of here, they know about it. They control the doors. Computers sitting directly in front of the deputies are an outline of the facility with all the doors they need to open. The deputies will call, they have call boxes, and they can open and follow the deputy's route basically throughout the whole facility. You have another computer that's just for, say, fence alarms or other kind of alarms. You even have an alert radio that tells us if any bad, severe weather is coming. So all that is monitored through this facility. Looks like there's something going on in medical. Let's go over there and see if we can help.
Let's go.
You got our attention now? We got yours, don't worry about it.
I'm saying, why are you doing me like that? I just asked him a question. I asked him to come talk to me. He said he was busy. He's sitting in the chair and ain't doing nothing. So you don't have to worry about me hurting myself.
Oh, you're going to get
Put your hands down. Put your hands down.
kicking that door like that.
They're not. Yes, they are.
Captain, we just saw somebody being placed in a restraint chair. Could you tell us exactly why he was placed in there and for what reasons?
Well, this specific inmate was placed in there due to mental health reasons. Basically, we have to protect people even if it's from themselves. Anybody who wants to harm themselves or acts out don't always know what they're doing or how seriously they can hurt themselves, and sometimes we have to protect them because they might not have the capabilities to protect themselves.
Okay, now here in the medical ward where we placed the individual in a restraint chair, is this a mental health ward or physical illness health ward?
Well, it's sort of a mixture of both. We have the inmates that need medical treatment or advanced medical treatment. They are down here to be monitored all the time. You notice that everything is glass, so the deputies can monitor them all the time. The nurses can monitor them.
Is there a doctor on staff?
We have a private medical company that takes care of all that. We have mental health people on duty, which have offices out here all the time as well. So we have quite a large staff, and it's manned with, in the daytime, no less than 3 deputies. On the nighttime, 2 deputies.
What's our next stop?
A1, let's go.
Lead the way, sir.
Well, this is A1. It's basically our trustee housing unit, and show you a little bit of difference. This is a complete open dormitory.
Oh, so there's no cells here.
Not one.
Okay, let's take a look. So this is where the trustees are housed.
This is it. It's completely open dormitory, and they're afforded this because they do work. They are the offenders with the less problems. Most of them are sentenced. They want to do their time, get their game time, and get out. So they can complete dormitory.
Now, Captain, you're going to take us to an area where there are cells.
Why don't we try the B wing? We'll go to B3, if that's okay.
I'm following you, sir.
All right.
This is the control tower of B3.
That it is.
What exactly happens in a control tower?
Well, basically, the control tower, it's a miniature central control that we talked about earlier. Every door, every cell that's opened is open from this control tower. The deputies have a panoramic view of all the dorms and the inmates.
I noticed there's 4 dorms in this one pod. So the deputies, without physically going down there, can see everything that's going on?
Well, pretty much everything, and what they can't see, we have monitors for, there's cameras in every one.
Where to now, Captain?
Well, we've seen the B wing. Why don't we go to D wing and show you the new pods that the sheriff fought so hard to open up.
Now, this D wing, has that helped with the overcrowding?
It has tremendously. I mean, you're going to think that's a lot more beds. The only bad thing about it is we're still overcrowded. I mean, today,
Even with the new wing, you're overcrowded.
yeah, you're going to think our head count is 1,400 now.
Wow.
We have 1,200 plus beds and 1,400 inmates.
Any future plans about more expansion?
I know the sheriff's in talks with the county commissioners now to try to plan building another facility altogether.
So this is D1.
This is D1. This is, like I said, high-profile felons.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. Now, Captain, you mentioned something. We're going to a lockdown dorm. What exactly
Right.
do you mean by lockdown?
Well, this is our disciplinary confinement. They have to be placed in here because of disciplinary reasons. They're afforded what we call a DR, or disciplinary hearing, and we have an officer that does that. That's what his job is it's basically a small court that they have, that they can tell their side, and the disciplinary officer has to hear all the evidence and make a decision.
I keep hearing the term contraband. Would that?
Absolutely, depending on what the contraband was. If you had something that you'd sharpen into a knife or whatever, then you're going to get a major offense. And you can keep people in lockdown up to 30 days. So if you get a major offense, that's punishable up to 30 days in lockdown. And you can have something as light as tobacco, which might carry 11 days that you'd be in here. Depending on the severity of what you've done, depends on how long you stay in lockdown.
And are you taking us in there?
Absolutely.
Wow, now I understand why they call this lockdown.
Everything they do in here, we try to secure as much as possible. If they want to take a shower, they're locked in the cage here. They take a shower in the cage. They want to go out to recreation, they go out to recreation in a cage.
Can we take a closer look?
Absolutely.
So this is the recreation?
Yep, this is recreation for lockdown. Most of the inmates, or all the rest of the inmates, get a very large courtyard, basketball courts and everything else. If you become a disciplinary problem, this is what you get for recreation.
I noticed there's no basketball courts, no...
Nope, all you can do is walk and enjoy some fresh air.
Wow, so it pays not to be a disciplinary problem.
Well, that's the point we're trying to get across is if you're going to become a disciplinary problem, everything you do is going to be greatly altered compared to the freedom that the other inmates do have.
There's another side of the D-wing.
Yep, that's where we house the females.
Let's take a look.